Okay, I'll call the meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. This is the Tuesday, March 15, 2016 meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Oops. Public announcements and upcoming meetings. The open burning season will run until April 30th. Permits are available at fire headquarters at 505 Liberty Street, daily from 9 to 5. The cost of a permit is $20, payable by check or money order, made out to the town of Hanson. No cash will be accepted. Hanson Water has announced that a full water ban is now in effect. Handheld hoses will be permitted during open burning. Deadline for Hanson Little League sign-up is March 19th. Go to thehansonlittleleague.com for more information. Opening day is Saturday, April 9th. Congratulations to the Hanson Youth Cheerleaders who became the national champions of the team competition in Orlando, Florida, and to the Whitman-Hanson Regional High School cheerleading squad, who became the Massachusetts State Champions this weekend, the competition in Holden, Mass. That was the 5th year in a row that the Whitman-Hanson Regional High School cheerleading squad has been the state champs. And they've also won the national championships a couple times within the last 5 years. So congratulations to both of those cheerleading squads. And if you've ever seen those cheerleading squads perform, it's not like the old-time cheers. They actually do. The Whitman-Hanson team does some unbelievable flips and backflips, and I mean,
throwing.
You know, it's to watch it is unbelievable. So congratulations to both of those squads on their respective championships. Upcoming meetings, final Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee, Wednesday, March 16th, 4 p.m. at the police station. Finance Committee, Thursday, March 17th at 7 p.m. Finance Committee, March 21st at 7 p.m. Board of Selectmen, Tuesday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. And Board of Selectmen, Tuesday, March 29th at 7 p.m. And Open Space Committee, Monday, April 4th at 7 p.m. I'd also like to announce that received a letter from the Socio-Regional School District Committee, 476 Webster Street in Hanover. And this went to all board chairmen, all town treasurers, and chairman of the finance committees. The subject was a 2016-2017 budget proposal. At a regular meeting of the Socio-Regional School District held on Wednesday evening, February 24th, 2016 at 7 p.m., the Socio-Regional Technical High School built at the Regional Vocational Technical High School building in Hanover, it was voted to certify the 2016-17 school district budget of $12,455,356. Enclosed herewith is a copy of the certified budget for the fiscal year, as well as preliminary estimate of assessments to the district towns. Additional copies of certified budgets may be printed from our website at www.ssvotech.org under the School Committee section. These are preliminary estimates based on the governor's budget proposals. They are subject to changes as the House and Senate deliberate on the budget. Our proposed providing these estimates at this time is to assist the member towns in their own budget preparation for fiscal 17. And we thank the regional school district for forwarding this. The preliminary assessments, this is preliminary, as I said, and these are subject to change. And of course, as is the case with the regional school district, it's based on school population. And it shows here that Hanson's assessment will be up 6.67%. Student population over there as of October 2015 was 80 students compared to 75 in October. So we went up 5, which is a net change of 6.67, which means our preliminary assessment is going from $847,574 for fiscal 2016 to $877,141 for fiscal year 2017, and that's an increase of $30,000. I'd also like to just make a brief mention that there's a new committee in town. This went to copies to the Board of Selectmen, and this was from the town moderator. It says, in recent months, several Massachusetts towns have investigated electronic voting systems that could be used during town meetings. I was approached by a few Hanson voters who are enthusiastic about utilizing this technology at our meetings. There are, however, unresolved questions that should be answered before we move to such a system. Among these will the benefits outweigh the cost? Will such a system be easy to use, and will electronic voting be too great of a burden on the town clerk's office? And who will service and maintain the system once it is purchased? In answer to these and many other questions that such proposals will raise, I'm hereby establishing a committee to investigate electronic voting at town meeting. I'm appointing the following residents to the committee: Anne Marie Bozan, Chair, 95 Woodbrook Lane; Laura Fitzgerald Kemet, 93 Bay State Circle; Joseph Campbell, 150 Woodbine Avenue; Joseph Weeks, 93 Hancock Street; and the town clerk or her designee. The committee shall make a report on their findings to me no later than December 31, 2016. Sincerely, Sean Keeley, moderator, with copies to the Selectmen, Town Administrator, and Finance Committee. Okay. All right, that's all I have. And at this point in time, we'll hear from the Town Administrator report, and for that, I would turn to Mr. LaCamera.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, having to do with the South Shore bulk.
Yes.
You had said that the budget had gone up 6.6%.
Oh,
Our population
Yeah.
went up 6.6%.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And our assessment went up 3.5%.
3.5%, okay. Yep. Thank you for that correction.
No problem. Just a couple of things. The Cub Scouts have a Pinewood Derby every year, and for some particular reason, they were notified by the church that they normally have that in, that they can't do it this year, and it's coming up this Saturday. They can't use the church this year. So Bob Brown and the Highway Department is going to clean out the highway garage so they can set up that derby in there, and they'll also be there while they do it. So with the board's permission, they'd like to go ahead and do that, if that's okay with the board.
What time did they say?
I don't know what time.
That's
it is.
okay.
Sorry, I can find out for you, Jim.
So moved on the motion.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Absolutely.
The last couple of weeks, we've been working very hard on the budgets, with the town accountant and Mary and I, and the finance committee. I've met a couple of times with the finance committee, so it's still a work in progress, and we're going to be talking about the warrant later in the agenda. The only thing we don't have, at this point is that the Hanson Regional School budget. It's my understanding they'll be voting on it tomorrow night, so hopefully on Tuesday we'll have a number that we can use to try to finalize our budget. I don't think it's going to be final, but anyways. So we're doing that, and then the other thing is the capital improvement plan that I've met with the Capital Improvement Committee a couple of times to discuss, where we are as far as the plan is concerned, and that's moving forward as well. So that's all I have right now, Mr. Chairman.
When's the school committee meeting?
Wednesday night.
Tomorrow night, 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rich, could I ask you a question? I'm sorry I put you on the spot, but How are we doing on the
That's all for
RFP?
you, Jim.
How, the RFP for the tower, how are we, where are we on that?
Okay, the RFP has gone out, it's been posted, and because it was a lease, it had to be out there for 30 days, and it's due back on April 1st.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Any other questions?
And actually, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, anybody can come in and discuss the RFP, and we can take them down to the property if they want.
Thank you.
We or you?
Me.
Okay.
Okay,
Come if you want, Ken.
next order of business under new business, Hampton Athletic Association, 171 Reed Street. This is a change in management and the board of directors. And from the Hanson Athletic Association, 171 Reed Street, on 2/23, we received a notice to whom it may concern. At our November 2015 meeting, we held new officers elected to our club. Our president, Richard Gilcoin, vice president, Joe Dillon, secretary, Ed Dempsey, treasurer, Steve Krogan, board member, Bob Burt, board member, Bob Craig, board member, Fred Dibble, board member, Patrick Picarello, board member, Kenny Corrigan, and member, Joe Bina. Also, membership unanimously voted Joe Dillon to be our manager due to his knowledge of the legal system. Faithfully submitted, Edgar Dempsey and Richard Gilcoin, president. Okay, so all of the paperwork is here, I assume, Mary.
Yes.
It's all been turned in, it's all been filled out. Query check request forms, manager application, petition for change in liquor license, personal information forms for everybody I just read. All seems to be in order here. Okay, so all I need now is a motion to,
Accept.
all I need now is a motion to accept the change in manager and board of directors for the retail alcoholic beverages license application.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments or concerns? Okay.
Is that Joe Bina Senior?
Yes.
I like him, he's a good guy.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Good luck, Joe.
Thanks, Ken.
Next on the, under new business, we have a request from Donald Ellis. It concerns a donation of a parcel of land on Hancock Street, map 2, lot 766. I'll read the letter into the record. It says, "Dear Selectmen, I would like to gift to the town of Hanson a parcel of land on Hancock Street, map 2, lot 764, to be combined with town-owned lot, map 2, lot 766, on the corner of Hancock and Union Park Streets. These lots, when combined, are to be used for a neighborhood children's playground. Total area would be 12,000 square feet. These lots are adjacent to the Hancock Street ball field and basketball court. I have attended a meeting of the Community Preservation Committee, and they agreed that this would be a welcome addition to the Hancock Street area. The committee agreed to help with the funding for this playground. If the selectmen agree, I would like to move forward and have the gift of the lot put in the Maytown meeting warrant for approval. Since this is a gift of land, I believe that has to be done in the
Yes.
form of an article. So I would need a motion from the board to include an article in the town warrant for that particular purpose.
So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, they want to put a, maybe possibly put a playground over there for the kids down there on that spot.
Yeah.
That was the ball field you see on the map that was refurbished recently.
Yeah, the Hancock Playground, that's where we had
So right across the
the,
street, the town owns lot 766,
yeah.
and he's donating 764.
Right. So both of those parcels would be where a playground. And then we're gonna try to form a committee, maybe with a lot of the neighbors down there, to talk about the playground and the cost of it, and I think we can go to CPC possibly to help out a little bit there. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
It'd be nice if we could revamp it, but Kenny, you know? Because I don't know if it's being used for baseball anymore with the additional.
No, right now, there's no sports team that's taken ownership to that field,
Right.
you know?
It'd be nice if,
In fact, I have an AAU team that's been using it just to utilize the field, but I'd love for somebody, one sports group, to take ownership of that, whether it's soccer or baseball.
Sure.
the AAU paying for the field too. Pay for the
They
use.
do maintenance to that and to another field,
Okay,
yeah. Help with maintenance, not all the maintenance.
I understand. We actually changed the name of it too, didn't we? We don't call it Hancock.
To Hammond?
Yeah, we dedicated that to Harrington.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said,
Did we just vote, or was that?
No, we
You haven't
didn't.
voted yet, but you got a motion in a second.
Second, okay.
Just
All
wait.
those in favor?
That was
Okay.
nice of Donnie, thank you, Don.
We have a Board of Health request to use Plymouth County Hospital property for hazardous waste day on June 4th. So I need a motion to grant the request of the Health Department.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded to grant the request of the Health Department to use Plymouth County Hospital for the hazardous waste day on Saturday, June 4th. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
The only thing that, Dawn, they're gonna be starting to paint that water tower, the trucks or anything aren't gonna be.
Yeah, well, there's a big parking lot area next to the food pantry.
Yeah,
I think that's the one they want to use.
yeah, the second question to that would be, is the food pantry open, you know, at that time that they're gonna do it?
I don't, what's it on, the 4th is a
Saturday.
weekend, isn't it?
No?
This Saturday.
Within a week, I
Saturday?
think.
Okay, great, so it's only open on Fridays.
Did they indicate the time that they're gonna do this hazardous waste day on June 4th? Because it's no time here, it just says June 4th.
What did you say? What was the question, Jim?
What time is it from?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Starting when?
Was it 10 to 2?
I think you could probably go online. The Board of Health has to put it up, I'm assuming.
All right,
Well, they may not have put it up until they get the approval to use it.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I can check.
Yeah, there's no time.
so we'll come back to it with the time later.
All right. Appointments and,
So did we vote that? Or do we want to?
We have to vote.
do we have a motion in a second?
Did you motion?
Yes.
it?
I saw, I
We did
thought I
motion and
did.
second.
Motion
Losing
second.
track of the motions.
Probably within the next.
You know, because it gives all the information that they're doing. And you want volunteers, you want different people to step up to get involved in their towns when they start seeing this stuff played out. Maybe you'll get more volunteers, you know? But I'm trying to do the back step out the door, right?
Get in.
Oh, yes. And the
So,
Finance Committee's particularly important because.
Oh,
of course,
definitely,
They
yeah.
make all the recommendations for town meeting.
I figured I'd get tarred and feathered if I ever did the finance committee. So
Not only
I
on
never
every
went.
article, but on every budget line that's gonna be voted on by the town meeting. So you can hear the explanations on the budget, you can hear the information that's within that line and what you're actually voting on before you even get to town meeting.
All it takes is a phone call and say, Rich, show up with a camera, and I do, whether it's capital improvement or something else, but we should get something done.
Yeah, Rich, show up with the camera.
All right? Tell me when the finance is meeting, I'll be there.
You know, you're right though, Rich, if we have maybe put together a committee, they could look into other options, like some of the high school students from the audiovisual team would like to participate there. We could create a schedule for them to come in and cover certain meetings maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if a stipend would be in order, but we'd have to look into that.
No,
All
they
that
could-
stuff would be
they'd be
researched.
serving their,
Or credits through something in
Absolutely,
school.
yeah.
they'd be serving their apprenticeship and you can be their mentor. How's that?
I'm still not getting out of here, am I? All right, thank you very much. That's all, I just want to bring it up before the board and get it kind of more officially put on and get it in people's minds.
That's great. I'm glad you came.
All right, thank you.
Excellent idea.
Did you want to say something? Oh, I thought you raised your hand, I'm sorry. So,
All right, now I forgot Jerry
so are
Thompson.
we looking to put together maybe a committee on this, or no?
What's that?
Are we looking to do something on it? Do we want to put together a committee on it, or do we want to think about it and bring it up next week or something?
Mr. Chairman, I have a suggestion. The person that's responsible for the Whitman Regional Cable, whatever it's called,
Yeah,
why don't we invite them in to talk to the board about it, to discuss the options, and then you can decide what direction you want to take.
Yeah, let's do that. I'd like to do that.
Because there is funding available
To do
to
this.
do that.
I mean,
One-
Because there was, someone else came in here too, that has the same interest, so the Public Access Committee.
I forgot to mention, I am working with, out in Southampton and East Hampton, there's a selectman out there I know very well, and they're going through this process now with their community and setting up a contract with their cable people, so any information I can get from him, I will bring it forward to.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. I do think that we could probably get the coverage. It just needs to be put together. So that's a great idea, Rich.
Well, that's
We
the
have
whole
one.
idea, is to bring it up tonight.
Yep.
Southampton. Must be Northampton.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's-
Reach
yeah.
out to them.
Mr. Chairman, there is one problem, is that we have the Board of Selectmen, we have Conservation, we have Planning Board, and we have Finance Committee all meeting on the same nights.
Yes,
So, I mean, that's an issue.
that is a
Where-
problem.
Well,
Where,
that's the technology and the cameras.
Right.
well, I understand that, but the conference rooms themselves, with the Finance Committee, you can barely move in the room, so,
No, I hear you.
and then, so anyways, the logistics would have to be discussed,
Sure.
among the boards to work that out, and, because, the Conservation, the Planning Board are meeting in that,
Small room.
the big a smaller
Oh, the
conference
finance
room
room
on the
is up there.
second floor, and then the Finance Committee's meeting on the first floor, in that corner,
Yep.
room,
Yeah.
which is very, very
People are
difficult.
stuffed into.
But anyways, the logistics would have to be worked out.
Yeah.
We could set up a camera on the shelf, that's all. It'd be fine.
Fish
We'll figure it out.
You'd see everybody's backs.
People are they're so jam-packed into that room, Rich, you can't clap like this. You have to clap like this.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, all right, review warrant articles and vote to close the special and annual town warrants. Okay, we'll start with the special town meeting, Mary?
Yes,
Go
that
through
would be
these?
the place to start.
Okay. All right, Article
So you
1.
might want to, it might working from the spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet that's in the right inside the first page. It might be easier
There it
to,
is.
to work from.
Did you say annual?
One,
This one says
one says special,
one-
and it's a
Special, one.
one-page.
Okay. Which one do you say you want to do first?
Special.
Good.
Okay. Article 1 is to see if this town will vote to transfer a sum of money from free cash to pay unpaid bills for the fiscal year 2015, or take any other action in relation thereto. This is proposed by the Board of Selectmen.
Mr. Chairman, at this point, we don't have any unpaid bills, but it's just in case one comes along here before town meeting, but right now, we don't have any unpaid bills for fiscal 15.
Okay?
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
It sure is.
In case we have it, does anyone want to take that article? Anybody want to
I
take Article 1?
normally get it.
Well, I usually
No.
just start one end of the table and run right.
Yeah,
right
I think
through
she
the
usually
list.
assigns us.
Right?
Ma-
Do we
Mary
usually assign
doesn't.
them?
Yeah,
From left to right, we'll go left to right?
yeah.
Yes.
We'll
Okay.
let Mary assign them, all right?
Yeah, let Mary sign them, Bruce.
So we just
It's
need to-
easier that way.
She's in charge.
She's in charge.
We'll put Mary in charge of assigning them.
There you go.
She's the power behind the chair.
And then we'll have,
Is there copies of this?
no, you know what, I didn't make extra, I'm sorry. That's all right.
Okay. We'll make sure we read all these into the record. Article 2, you want to read that one?
No, we going to
Sure.
vote to place it, and then do you want to vote to recommend it, or just
Okay.
place them on the warrant?
Can I have a motion to place Article 1 on the warrant?
Place and recommend.
So
Please
moved.
recommend.
Place and recommend?
So moved.
Second?
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
You want to read Article 2?
Article 2, supplemental budget. To see if the town will vote to transfer from available funds a sum of money to supplement appropriations previously voted at the annual town meeting of May 15th, of May 2015, for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2015, for the various town departments, or take any action in relation thereto. The purpose of this article is to supplement a number of line items in the current fiscal year's budget, fiscal year 16, in order to fund a number of additional expenses associated with the following: A detailed handout will be presented to the voters at town meeting outlining in detail these expenses.
Okay, I have a figure on that one of $95,000.
A motion
So
to
moved.
place and recommend Article 2?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Please note that that's only
Is that only,
an estimate at this point, because other items could come up.
okay.
Okay. Article 3 is to see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from the amounts from free cash or available funds for the reimbursement of repairs to the McQuon Elementary School and the Hanson Middle School, or take any other action relative thereto, proposed by the Board of Selectmen. Explanation. McQuon School, replace steam coil valve, $5,276. McQuon School, study gym and cafeteria roof. That's an evaluation study, that's $7,500. Indian Head hot water circulator pump, $12,788. That's it. Total there is $25,564. So I need a motion to place that on the warrant and to
Recommend.
recommend.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
It says Hanson Middle School, but you don't, it's either McQuon and Indian Head here. It doesn't, Hanson Middle School isn't on here.
Wasn't there a valve replacement for the middle school? I thought there was, right? Maybe it's not part of here? Let me see.
Well,
The,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
something could come up in the meantime, for the middle school. The article
I
just
think there is one for the middle
defines
school.
what the town is responsible for, which is the McQuon Elementary and the Hanson Middle School, and the motion would read the exact costs that we would have to approve.
But I mean, I think Emily's right, though.
Yeah.
I
Should
agree,
say-
I agree.
You should have Indian Head in there.
We should.
Yep.
Yeah, she's right.
Thank you. Emily.
Good catch, Anne Marie. Okay,
Oh, we had a valve replacement. I think the middle school. No, we did.
all right.
So
We do,
on to
right,
the
Mike?
vote.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay. Bill, you want to take 4?
Article 4, see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from free cash to be added to stabilization or take any action in relation thereto. It's proposed by the Board of Selectmen. Explanation is the money will be used to increase the stabilization fund. A stabilization fund is a mechanism for setting aside money either for unseen needs or for capital expenses or projects. Such fund is intended to equalize the effort of capital expenditures over time and to provide a rainy day fund. The dollar amount appropriated under this article will increase the stabilization fund to $1,098,000, if I've read that correctly, which represents approximately 5% of the operating budget. The minimum amount for stabilization funds as recommended by our auditors and will help to maintain a positive bond rating for future borrowing purposes, estimated is $25,000, and this does require a 2/3 vote.
Okay, can I have a motion to
So moved.
recommend and place on the warrant? Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous vote. Kenny?
Number 5, see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from free cash to be added to the regional school capital stabilization fund as established by the October 2014 special town meeting, or take any other action in relation to proposed by the Board of Selectmen. Explanation. The stabilization fund sets aside funds for the exclusive use of paying for capital improvements to Hanson School buildings and Whitman-Hanson Regional High School, estimated at $10,000.
Just so the board knows, there's $30,000 in that account right now. So
Right.
you've been putting $10,000 a year in.
Okay.
All right, I need a motion
So
to
moved.
recommend and place on the warrant.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Back to Dawn.
Article 6, to see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from free cash for the purpose of scanning planning board subdivisions. Approval not required, plans, as-built plans, and easement descriptions into electronic format. The explanation, these funds will be used to cover the expenses incurred for scanning plans and other municipal documents into electronic format. Estimate amount $3,000.
Mr. Chairman, this is done every few years to get up to date so you can scan the documents.
Need a motion to approve and
So moved.
recommend and place on the warrant.
Second?
Motion and second. All those in favor? Aye. Article 7, Jim.
To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer a sum of money from free cash, a sum of money for the grading of private ways under the direction of the highway surveyor, or take any other action in relation thereto, proposed by the highway surveyor. These funds are used to purchase materials and for contracting a contractor with grade for private ways which the town maintains, a sum of $10,000.
Need a motion to
So
recommend and
moved.
place on the warrant.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous vote. Article 8, to see if the town will vote to transfer from water surplus $20,000 to be added to Article 16 of the May 4th, 2015 special town meeting to continue rehabilitation work at the Crystal Spring well site or take any other action in relation thereto. This is proposed by the Board of Water Commissioners. Explanation, this money will be used to continue rehabbing the wells at Crystal Springs. Well number 4 still needs to be cleaned with the possibility of purchasing a new pump. The surge control valve in the pump house also needs to be replaced. It is critical we get this work completed before the water goes back on a line. And have a motion to
So
recommend and
moved.
place on the warrant. Second, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Okay, Article 9.
To see, Article 9, to see if the town will vote to transfer $100,000 from surplus to pay for water purchase from the city of Brockton or take any other action thereto. The explanation, this money will pay a portion of the bill owed to the city of Brockton for using their water for approximately 2 months while the water tank on High Street was being rehabilitated. The water department will need to put another article on town floor in October to pay the remainder. We're being charged $3.81 per 1,000 gallons.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Motion seconded to
Second.
recommend and place on the ballot. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
And to approve.
5-0.
Wait, before we vote, we have a question.
The wording on the article itself, it should be
Should say water surplus.
water surplus, right?
Yeah.
It says it on the source.
Where were we?
It's on
Yeah,
the.
it just says surplus, not
Number
water.
9, it
Number
says
9.
water
Oh,
surplus.
from water surplus, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Article number,
Wait a minute.
we got to move to the vote?
Motion to place, since, do we already do the?
We had a
motion?
motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So, Article 10, right?
Article number 10.
To see if the town will vote to accept the donation of land located on Hancock Street known as Accesses Map 2 Lot 764 for a general municipal purpose or take any other action in relationship thereto. Explanation. Hanson resident Don Ellis has offered to, it should say donate, the lot, which is contiguous to the town-owned parcel. The parcels are in close proximity to the Hancock Street ball field known as Sergeant James Francis Red Harrington Park.
Okay, need a motion
So
and
moved.
place it on the warrant
And
and
recommend.
recommend.
Second?
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we're back to Article 11 with Don.
To see if the town will vote to accept the donation of land located at 100 Hawks Avenue, as depicted on the plan or file with the town clerk's office. Said property to be used for general municipal purposes. Proposed by the Selectmen. Explanation is consideration of acceptance of a gift of land from Hubble Incorporated. This land is a portion of the former light control property.
Is that the property contiguous with the property that we're buying?
This is the additional.
Yes. It is. It is contiguous with the property that we've already
It's contiguous.
accepted.
So moved.
Contiguous.
But
I'll
it's
never
not,
get that
it's
one.
not part of the land that was being cleaned up.
No.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
completely different parcel.
Right.
At the annual town meeting last May,
Yeah.
the town approved the plan to accept the donation of a piece of land. Hubble now is giving the town an additional 3+ acres that's gonna be added to the property that they donated last year.
Right.
We have to accept that additional
That's correct,
donation,
yeah.
and that plan will be on file with the town clerk.
All right, great. Okay, so I need a motion and a second to
It has been.
recommend.
It was done.
Has it been-
So
we
moved.
have to move,
Second.
and we have to raise our hands.
And vote.
Okay. Everybody's in favor, okay.
You want me to go, Bruce?
Yeah, go ahead.
To see if the town will vote to amend the wage and personnel bylaws, Article 2-12, classification and compensation by deleting sections 11A through 11E in its entirety and inserting the new sections 11A
As printed.
through 11E as printed below.
You don't have to read them.
You don't want me to read the two highlighted items?
It says it in the explanation.
Okay.
Just wanna read that.
Okay. Explanation on the following page.
6.
Underneath, there it is. The charges to the compensation plan are highlighted, which include adjusting the range for the town planner, conservation agent, adding new positions of recreation director and student police officer.
Okay. We need a motion
So
and a
moved.
second to recommend and place on the
Second.
warrant. All those in favor?
This is the explanation right here.
Okay. So that brings us to Article 13. See if the town will vote to amend the wage and personnel bylaws, Article 2-12, classification and compensation, Section 7A, by deleting the second sentence and inserting in its place the following. Annual increases are not automatic, but based on evaluation of employees' ability to work, and work performance. Employees in Section 11A and 11B shall be evaluated by the town administrator. Employees in Section 11C, 11D, and 11E shall be evaluated by the relevant department head and reviewed by the town administrator. Okay, need a motion
So
to
moved.
recommend and place on the warrant.
Second.
Motion seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
That hereby completes the run-through of the special town meeting warrant. And
You wanna
now,
vote to close?
Motion to close. the warrant.
motion to close the warrant.
Second.
Motion and a second to close the special town meeting warrant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to open for regular town meeting.
Regular
That was
town
already
meeting.
open. We've been open.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Bill Scott, Article 1.
To hear reports of various town officers, committees, special committees, and act thereon. That's proposed by the Board of Selectmen. An explanation, the reports voted on are those published in the 2015 town report.
Okay,
So moved.
moved and seconded to
To place.
recommend and place on the warrant.
Second, yes.
All those in favor? Unanimous vote.
All right, Article 2, to see if the town will authorize the treasurer collector to enter into compensate and balance agreements during fiscal 2017 as permitted by Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53F, or take any other action in relationship thereto. Explanation. Every year this article is voted. It simply allows the treasurer collector to maintain accounts using credits instead of money to pay for banking charges.
Okay, motion to recommend and place.
So moved.
Moved and
Second.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous vote. Article 3.
To see if the town will vote to transfer $20,000 from overlay surplus to the treasurer collector's tax title account, or take any other action proposed by the treasurer. This money will be used to cover the cost incurred for filing and advertising properties with delinquent taxes, and also to pay any legal fees resulting from this process.
Motion to recommend and place.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous vote.
Article 4, to see if the town will vote to fix the salary and compensation of all paid elected officers and committees of the town as follows. Town clerk from $64,595 to $65,887 for fiscal year 17. Tree warden for fiscal year 16, 2,936, that's $2,936, to $2,995 for fiscal year 17, or take any action in relation thereto. Explanation, this article sets the salary limits for the elected officials. Article 5 funds the salaries.
So
Okay.
moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Article 5.
You, Bruce.
To determine what sums of money the town will raise and appropriate by taxation, transfer from free cash, transfer from town ambulance funds, water department revenue, water surplus, Title V special revenue account, MWPAT loan replacement receipts, reserved for appropriation, conservation notice of intent fund, overlay surplus, fund balance reserved for reduction of future excluded debt, and election fund, Chapter 503, Acts of 1983, to defray charges and expense of the town, including debt and interest, and provide for a reserve fund for the 2017 fiscal year, or take any other action in relation thereto. This article refers to the fiscal year 2017 annual budget lines. This is the budget article. Motion to
So moved.
Second?
approve and place. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article 6. Huh?
Bruce, hold on, Rich has a question too.
Place and recommend.
Well, we can't recommend yet because we don't have the budget yet. So the budget, we'll be working on the next couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry, I get carried away.
Meeting-
Put hold in there.
It's just
Put
a
hold
place.
on the recommend.
Just
Not
put
the
it on the
recommend.
warrant, and then we'll be considering the budget with the finance committee's recommendations and my recommendations, and then the board.
But we can vote
And
to
that-
place it, just
Yes,
not
yeah,
recommend it.
public, right. The budget should be available on the 29th.
Good catch, Tracy.
On the 29th?
That's the plan right now.
Okay,
And that's because there's no dollar amount, okay.
no dollar amounts, yes. Yep. Yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article 7. Article
See if-
6. Go
Article
ahead.
6.
Article 6, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the following sums of money to operate the Recreation Department during fiscal year 2017 under the provisions of the Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and 1/2. The estimated revenues, excuse me, the total budgeted revenues for 16 are $319,356. The increase would be $321,184. Estimated expenses in fiscal year 2016 are $319,356, and the increase will reflect $321,184. The funding source is $125,000 program revenue, $34,184 from taxation, and program revenue and taxation to be included. The explanation is recreation costs now shown in this enterprise fund budget. With the exception of the administrative assistant position, all costs related to the operation of Camp Kewanee are projected to be offset by the program revenues. All surpluses of this account at the end of the year will remain within the account.
It's within the enterprise account.
Okay.
Motion to place and recommend.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article 7.
Article 7, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the following sums of money to operate the transfer station during fiscal year 2016 under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and 1/2. Explanation, total cost of operating the transfer station is $371,303. A portion of the salaries is $91,877, and expenses $33,676 will come from general taxation. The balance of expenses, $245,687, will be paid through the enterprise fund.
That's the money that's generated through the sale of the orange bags.
That's correct.
And the only change in expenses is the salaries.
Mm-hmm. Okay, motion to recommend. and
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
The other map, and that one just needs to be changed to consensus.
Yeah.
Oh, what, in the text?
Yes,
Oh, I'm looking at the chart. Okay, yeah. 'cause
You
the
talking
chart
fiscal
says-
year?
Yeah, right up in the top of the article, right,
I
Emery?
see what you're
Okay.
saying.
Okay. Good catch, Anne Marie.
Spell checker.
Okay. Article 8.
Yes.
Article 8, to see if the town will vote to appropriate for or reserve from fiscal year 2017 Community Preservation Fund's estimated annual revenues and the amounts recommended by the Community Preservation Committee for committee administrative expenses, community preservation projects, and other expenses in fiscal year 2017, with each item to be considered a separate appropriation. Appropriations from Fly 17, estimated revenues from committee administrative expenses, $10,000. Reserves, estimated revenue from historical reserve, $25,000. Estimated revenues from community housing reserve is $25,000. And estimated revenues for open space reserve, $25,000. And the last one is estimated revenues from budget reserve, $140,000, or take other action relation to thereto. Explanation, this article ensures the Hanson Community Preservation accounts are compliant with the Community Preservation Act, which requires that a certain portion of the CPA funds be set aside for open space projects, community housing projects, historical projects, and recreation projects. In addition, it sets aside money for the administrative expenses for the Community Preservation Committee.
Okay, got a motion to place and recommend, please?
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Article 9.
Article 9, to see if the town will vote to adopt the capital improvement program as presented by the capital improvement committee or take any other action in relation thereto. This is the annual article which approves the capital improvement matrix for the next fiscal year.
All right, we don't have the final matrix.
Jim, we don't have that
So we'll
because
just
we
place
don't,
this one.
we don't know,
Right.
you know, what the,
Want to put that on
all the
hold?
projects
So a
are.
motion to place.
You want to put the article on,
Place it,
Don,
just not
then
recommended.
we'll
Okay.
address it later, the matrix.
Motion to place only?
Okay, motion and a second?
Second, I need somebody.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Article 10 is to see if the town will vote to appropriate and transfer from available funds $496,868 for various department capital accounts for the following items or take any other action in relation thereto. Library Senior Center, siding replacement and painting, $60,000 from free cash. Highway, purchase small dump truck, $65,000 from free cash. McQuon School, replace the LED lighting, $49,664 from free cash. Indian Head School, replace LED lighting, $18,279 from free cash. McQuon School, remove asbestos and re-insulating piping and fittings, $37,925, that's from free cash. McQuon School, repair and replace roof, $266, I believe that's subject to change, that could go down, not up. $266,000 free cash, a total of $496,868.
Once again, Mr. Chairman, these numbers are not finalized,
Right.
yet, because we're waiting for the report to come back from the school, having to do with the school roof, so you can place the article, but the numbers will change.
Well, I got a question for you, Rich. So
Yep.
Number 6, I'm wondering if it should even be there, right? Because we're just approving.
It's just a placeholder right now because they're spending $7,500, have an engineer, look at the roof to determine the exact cost.
Which is
That's
being
not-
voted on at the same meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Yeah, it's being voted on at the special.
Yeah.
Under the special meeting, right?
Yeah.
It's being voted on the $7,500 for Gail to do the,
Right, but they're already
They're
doing
already
that.
paid, they're
They are
already paid,
doing it
they've been
already.
reimbursed.
so that they may have it done in time so that we'll
They're
know what
supposed
that
to have
number
it
is.
done in the
Yeah.
next week.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
okay.
Motion to place Article 10.
So moved.
Okay, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Article 11, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, or appropriate or raise through borrowing a sum of money to be determined to pay the costs, construction of the buildings at Hawks Avenue for the use of a highway barn, or take any action relative thereto. This is proposed by the Highway Building Committee and the Board of Selectmen, and these funds will be used for the reconstruction of buildings for use as a highway facility, which are to be located at the property donated by Hubble Incorporated.
Motion to
So
place
moved.
Article 11.
Second.
Um,
Place only, right?
the
We
only-
obviously don't know the cost, so we can
Place
replace it.
only.
Is there any possibility that we might have to borrow for this?
We don't know
We're
yet.
definitely gonna borrow for this.
Yeah.
It says
So
borrow.
it'd be raising, I mean, assuming, raise and
If
appropriate,
somebody's got a big
raise
pocket.
and appropriate through borrowing, okay. It's covered. All right.
Can I just back up, or did we, the capital improvement projects, we're holding those for a recommendation, right? Oh,
Correct.
Yes,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
we just
Yeah.
placed.
So that's raise and
Okay, so it's-
appropriate or raise and appropriate through borrowing, which is, of course, it's gonna be. All right. Move, a motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Place only, again.
Article 12, to see if the town will vote to appropriate transfer available funds, $97,517 to capital accounts for the following Whitman Hanson Regional High School items, or take any other action in relationship thereto.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I talked to the town of Whitman, and the town of Whitman hasn't decided which projects that they want to support, so once again, these 3 items are still up in the air as to what would be funded and what wouldn't be funded at this point. So
All right, so
it's
we'll
just
place
accept
them in
the
the-
article.
We'll
place
and
it.
not recommend.
All right, the explanation, the courts were resurfaced in 2005 and severely cracked in heaving. Item 2, during the severe 2015 winter, the walkways have heaved and are a hazard. Item 3, replaced parts are no longer available and a lift will fail the state inspection.
Having children, we inspected on the 31st, we need to replace it.
So looking for a motion to place
So
Article
moved.
12.
Second.
That's just a place, right?
Correct.
On the 31st, right, Tracy?
Hoping they can talk around and they can replace it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Article 13, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to accept and enter into a contract for the expenditure of any located funds by the Commonwealth and in county for the construction, reconstruction, improvements of town roads. Set sum of money to expend it under the direction of the Board of Selectmen, or take any action in relation thereto. This article is a requirement of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for the town of Hanson to accept state funding, including Chapter 90 funding for accepted roadways. This article authorizes use of funds which will be 100% reimbursed by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The budget approved each fiscal year by the legislature and governor establishes the total funding available for Chapter 90 local transportation aid for that year. These funds are then apportioned to the 351 Massachusetts towns and cities.
Okay, need a motion to recommend in place.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Article 14,
Article 14, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate transfer from free cash overlay surplus and/or available funds the sum of money to fund the fiscal year 2018-19 interim year adjustments and the fiscal 2020 triennial recertification of the town's real estate and personal property values as required by Mass General Law, Chapter 797 of the Acts of 1979, or take any action in relation thereto. Mass General Law requires that evaluations be recertified every 3 years. All building schedules, land tables, depreciation schedules, etc., are recalculated according to the current real estate market. New income and expense figures are also adopted based on the current commercial industrial market. Estimated amount, $45,000.
okay, motion to recommend in place,
So move.
Second?
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous vote. Okay, Article 15. To see if the town will vote to appropriate or reserve $15,000 from the undesignated Community Preservation Fund balance for the purpose of hiring a consultant to prepare a community preservation plan for the Community Preservation Committee, or take any other action in relation thereto, proposed by the Community Preservation Committee. Explanation. The Community Preservation Committee would like to hire a consultant to assist them in preparing a community preservation plan. The consultant will be required to meet with all the relevant boards, committees, in addition to meeting with the citizens of Hanson, in order to help to determine the areas of need that might benefit from the Community Preservation Act funds. After they have gathered the requisite feedback and documentation needed, they will use all this information to form the proposed community preservation plan, which will serve as a roadmap for Community Preservation Act funding in the future. And I need a motion to place and recommend.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor? Unanimous vote. Article 16.
To see if the town, Article 16, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from free cash and/or available funds sum of money to be used for engineering and design services for the McQuon Street, Route 14 reconstruction project, or take any action in relation thereto, proposed by the Board of Selectmen. These initial funds will be held for future use in the engineering and design phase of the project. Old Colony Planning Council will provide funding, approximately $3 million, for the actual reconstruction if the town provides the engineering and design funds. The anticipated cost of the engineering and design phase is $300,000. The estimated amount for fiscal year 17 would be $45,000.
Okay, need a yes,
You want
motion to
So
recommend in
moved.
place?
Second.
Yes.
Don, did you want to explain this? You want me to explain it?
Yeah, Don, this is the Route
The
14.
45,000?
Remember the 45,000
From
for the
McQuon.
sidewalks? Remember the bike routes on each side and stuff?
Well, this includes the whole reconstruction of McQuon Street, from St. Joseph's Church, which is Route 58, all the way to the Pembroke line. And there's a 45-foot layout through in there, and it's going to include new drainage and sidewalks, both sides on McQuon Street, and there'll be a bike path on either side also. And also included, I believe, is School Street, up by McQuon Street and up by Indian Head Street, where sidewalks will be in place, both sides of the road. So we'll have sidewalks, both sides of McQuon Street and School Street, all the way to the Pembroke line. It'll probably take approximately 5 years before it's done, but not to discourage anybody, we have to do the engineering and design first before we can we're on the TIP program. It's a Transportation Improvement Program, working with Old Colony and Brockton.
Mr. Chairman, just as Don has pointed out, this is a federal program where the federal government provides so much grants for the state of Massachusetts, and this particular, through Don's efforts, has been put on the transportation program, and it's a $3 million project, and the town is responsible for 10% of that total project, up to $300,000. But in order for us to continue with the project itself, we have to do some preliminary design, and we're asking for $45,000 out of that $300,000. So this would be done over a period of, a few years to get this project for engineering designs and so forth. But certainly, the cost of the $300,000 for a $3 million project, I think is well worth it.
So is this a state project, I'm assuming?
It's federally.
It's federal and state.
It's federally funded, but the
But state
state
approves it.
engineers will
Yes.
be on the job
Yep.
Yep.
managing that thing. Okay. So that's,
And you did vote on this one.
So,
Mary? Yes. Thank
We've already voted it?
you. Yes, sir.
Article
Okay.
17.
Very good.
Article 17.
To see if the town will vote to transfer $500,000 from water surplus to be added to Article number 23 of the May 4th, 2015 annual town meeting for additional water exploration or take any other action thereto. The water department is continuing to expand available funding on additional water supply development. Currently, the town only has one well site, Spring Wells. Several locations are being evaluated, which may require site clearing, access improvements, test drilling, engineering coordination with regulators, and permitting. The stepwise approach will be implemented and evaluated by the Water Commission to rule out these infeasible areas.
Motion to recommend in place.
so moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Now, Mary, I'll probably read all of those at town meeting if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, all these articles are gonna be read by other people.
Yeah,
We
water-
Bruce just
water-
wanted to read them into
Yeah.
the record.
Article 18 is to see if the town will vote to transfer $75,000 from water surplus to be added to Article 16, water meters of the October 6, 1997 special town meeting for the purpose of purchasing new water meters and related equipment for the water department or take any other action thereto. This is proposed by the Board of Water Commissioners. The explanation is that this is meter replacement for continuing program designed to maintain accurate reading meters. I need a motion to recommend in place.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article 19.
Article 19, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or raise through borrowing $1 million for the installation of new water mains on various streets throughout the town, or take any other action thereto. This is proposed by the Board of Water Commissioners, and this will allow the Water Department to replace old water mains, eliminate bleeders on dead-end streets for better water quality, and it does require a 2/3 vote.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll have to explain this to Dawn, too, that basically the reason why this is back on the warrant, it was approved at the last annual town meeting, but unfortunately, the Water Commission did submit a capital plan to the Capital Improvement Committee, but the Capital Improvement Committee did not put the $1 million on the improvement plan, and the bylaw, the town's bylaw requires that it has to be on the improvement plan, and bond counsel, they were going out to borrow literally this week, and they discovered that it was not on the plan. And so we have to put it back on town meeting and have the plan approved, and that's why you see it there. But it was approved the past May.
It's a tragedy.
So it's unfortunate that it's going to delay the installation of the water mains that were scheduled, to start, the middle of April, and they probably won't be started until mid-May-ish now, just so you know.
Well, just bond council's checking all the, make sure all the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed. And it has to check make sure every vote was taken. Okay, motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
And also the amount, did you say it was, no, it was 1.3 million, not 1 million?
Yeah.
It's one change?
Yeah, it'll be 1.3.
Article 20, to see if the town will vote to name the intersection of Winter and Liberty Street in the honor of John Ferry, or take any other action in relationship thereto, proposed by the Veterans Agent.
So moved.
John died in December 2015 at 92 years of age. He was a highly decorated veteran who served his country in World War II, spent his life in Hanson running his business and giving back to the town. We would like to honor John's military service and citizenship by dedicating a memorial square in his memory. And I think it's pretty fitting that it's right there in front of his business, Winter Street and Liberty.
Motion to recommend in place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Article 21. Back to John.
Oh. To see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash and/or available funds sum of money to provide for a marker for the memorial square or take any other action related thereto. This is proposed by the Veterans Agent. If the preceding article is approved, these funds will be used to purchase the appropriate marker and fund expenses associated with the dedication, and estimated around about $2,000.
Motion to recommend
So
in
moved.
place.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Guys are fast tonight.
Article 21, 22.
Article 22, to see if the town will vote to accept the provision of Mass General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 22 through 22F. This is a local option provision for the requirements of the disabled veterans under Mass General Law 59, Section 5, Clauses 22 through 22F.
Motion to recommend
So
in place.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article number 23. To see if the town will vote to place the Smith-Nowazowski Conservation Area, Assessors Map 20, Parcel 1-1, under the care and custody of the Conservation Commission for the purpose of wildlife, recreation, and forestry, or take any other action in relation thereto, proposed by the Conservation Commission. Okay, explanation. Smith-Nowazowski Conservation Area is 101 acres of gently sloping land between Poor Meadow Brook and Elm Street. It has some 1,500 feet of frontage on Poor Meadow Brook and a narrow network of walking trails, including a portion of the Bay Circuit Trail. It is across the street from the Burridge Wildlife Management Area. The town acquired the property for conservation and water supply protection at a special town meeting on October 1, 2007. The Board of Selectmen was authorized to seek legislative approval to grant a conservation restriction, CR, to the Department of Fish and Game. Approval was received by the consensual order of taking conservation easement, also known as conservation restriction, was recorded on July 1, 2008 at the Plymouth County Registry of Deeds in Book 36-140, pages 173-96. This CR was for which the town paid $250,000 and now requires annual site audits by the state. The state official performing these audits has emphasized that the CR requires management of the property. It is logical for that management to be assigned to the Conservation Commission. Placing the property under the care and custody of the Conservation Commission will allow the Commission to monitor the site, to conduct activities, to maintain the support and the retention of the site in its natural, scenic, and open condition for fish and wildlife conservation, native habitat protection, public recreation, protection of scenic views, and other conservation uses. Can I have a motion to place?
So moved.
Recommend?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Article 24.
Article 24, to see if the town will vote to reauthorize the following revolving accounts pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53E and 1/2, which shall be kept separate and apart from other monies by the treasurer, and which shall be deposited, receipts received that may be spent only from those sources identified below under source of funds, without further appropriation during the fiscal year 2017, and as defined below under use of funds, and shall be expended under the direction of those so indicated. Said annual amount expended from each revolving account shall not exceed the amount indicated below under the annual expenditures. This article includes the assessors, Parks and Fields, the library, the senior center program fees, and Conservation Commission wetland fees. In addition, Nathaniel Thomas Mill rental fees. And this is proposed by the Board of Selectmen. There are annual revolving accounts which have been consolidated into one article to streamline the warrant process. Additional uses have been added to the Conservation Commission revolving account.
Motion to recommend in place.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the final article is Article 25, the election article.
Article 25, to bring in the votes for the following offices: a moderator for 1 year, selectman for 3 years, an assessor for 3 years, a town clerk for 3 years, Board of Health member for 3 years, cemetery commissioner for 3 years, a member of the planning board for 5 years, a tree warden for 3 years, 2 trustees of memorial for 3 years, 2 trustees of the public library for 3 years, 2 members of the Whitman Hanson Regional School District Committee pre-K to 12 for 3 years, 2 water commissioners for 3 years, and 1 question.
Okay. Motion to recommend in place.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
in order for this question to go on the ballot, we need to know what the questions are going to be, because the ballot is gonna be to the printer by April 4th. So if there's 3 or 4 questions or referendum questions that you want on the ballot for this May election, we need to know what they're going to be.
We better do that soon.
We
Yes,
have
we
another
better.
meeting tomorrow night.
Okay,
I'll try and get there as soon as possible.
all right.
I think you guys need to tighten up the questions too, because the questions that we saw last time, in my
Yes.
opinion,
Right.
you know,
I agree.
thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Mr.
It may
Chairman,
not be
so-
something that's appropriate for this particular town meeting. I mean, I know we have to move forward with this hospital, but, we don't need another history lesson. My opinion.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Your opinion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
vote to place the article, but it'll be adjusted based upon the questions that come from the Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee.
Okay.
So it'll be a place and hold?
Yeah,
Person hold. You want to revote that? Is that?
yes, please.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, I'm not in favor.
So you don't
But
want
that's
to, you
all
don't want
one-
to place it, it's all one thing,
It's
it's not
all
just the
one,
question. it's-
unfortunately. The question we can't vote on separate. So this is,
Okay, well,
this is
I'll vote
all the other.
for it, yes.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sure.
We're just getting back to Article 19. So because it wasn't on the CIC matrix, we missed the time frame for this? Is that right?
Pardon me?
Because we missed this to be on the CIC matrix,
Yes.
the bond council, we got delayed on this particular article, is that correct?
Yes, we were going out to borrowing, this week, and we're gonna be starting the project in the next month.
So is it on the CIC matrix now?
Not yet.
But it will be after the vote?
We have informed the water department superintendent that they need to go to the committee to tell them to put it on there.
Okay.
And
So-
I've got to go back to meet with them too about a couple of other things as well.
Excuse me. So that's how it was missed, because we missed that step, right? I mean, was an email could have been sent, right?
In fairness to the Water Commission, they did submit the form
Okay.
to the committee.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
You need a vote to close the warrant?
Make a motion to close the warrant.
Second, motion and second to close the annual town warrant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Too late. Okay. Now we're up to, the fire chief, that's the one I forgot. Fire chief, accept gift from Signature Health. I'll read this. This was from Chief Thompson. Can you please add to the next selectmen's meeting to accept a gift in the amount of $687.50 from Signature Healthcare Hospital. These funds will be added to the remaining funds that we received to purchase the simulation mannequins. We will be using the funds to purchase SimView mobile. This equipment will increase the educational impact of debriefing our EMTs in situ simulations by incorporating synchronized audio, video, and simulation information. If you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to contact me. Thanks, Jerry, Chief Jerome Thompson, Jr. So I need a motion to accept that gift.
So moved.
As
Second.
motion to accept the gift from Signature Health. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Moving right along, appointments and resignations. To accept the resignations of Sean Jonas from the Zoning Board of Appeals.
With regret.
Accept with regret.
Except with regret, yes, sir.
A motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion, can I have a motion to reappoint Barbara Ferguson to the Board of Registrars for a term to expire 3/31/19.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Old business.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
having to do with the resignation of the zoning board of appeals, I think it'd be a good idea at this point, because we won't be meeting for another couple of weeks, to ask if people are interested in being appointed to the board of appeals, that they submit their name to the Board of Selectmen's office.
Excellent suggestion. We now have an opening on the Hanson Board of Appeals. We appeal to you out there to get your applications in if you're interested in serving on the Hanson Board of Appeals. And you can either get an application online, or you can stop down at the Selectmen's office and pull an application and submit it, and we will act on that at our next meeting. Thank you very much.
So what's the deadline for getting applications in, Rich, if that's the case?
I mean, I would say that,
Friday?
at least 2 or 3 weeks, because, by the time you get them, then it's put in the newspaper and so forth, so.
Okay.
And currently, we have an alternate who has submitted a letter of interest that
There
he'd
we
be
go.
interested in moving from the alternate position to the permanent position.
Oh, okay.
That's in your packet, but I didn't put it on the agenda, so we could
Yes.
at least announce and let people know that there will be a vacancy.
Of course. Okay, thanks, Mary. All right. Next on the agenda is,
Do we have to read who it is and language, or no?
what's that?
Do we have to read that? Or no? for the
I
record?
just put that as a note, so you
Okay.
guys would know that, the alternate's interested in the position,
I'm
so.
with you.
A lot of times we don't have anybody apply, so at least we already have somebody.
I'll call you. Old business. Discuss the statement of interest for the McQuon School projects. As you remember, at the last meeting, the superintendent was here, along with various members of the school committee, and the facilities manager, Ernie Sandlin, was here, as well as the business manager, Christine Suko. And they had done a survey of the buildings, and to see how much room was in those buildings between the McQuon School, the Indian Head School, and the middle school. And so they came up with about 10 different suggestions. I'm sure everybody's had a chance to look at those. And they wanted us to recommend what we thought would be the best possible project that would appeal to the voters in Hanson. The final submission of any SOI to the MSBA is voted by the school committee. They have the last say on what that actual SOI is going to look at, and they approach the town and the Board of Selectmen to see which schools they would like the SOI submitted for. That's the way it's been handled in the past. In fact, that's the way it's handled under the guidelines of the MSBA. So my personal recommendation, I've looked through this, and she said there'd be two SOIs. One would be the base FOI, which would be a core SOI for the McQuon School, which is a no-brainer because the MSBA already knows that the McQuon School should be replaced. And we were told that the MSBA would not accept any SOI for renovation. So it'd be a replacement of the McQuon School. And so the idea was to, because there's vacant rooms in those schools, that the recommendation was, one of the recommendations was to move classrooms for the first and second grade over to the Indian Head School, and move the fifth grade over to the middle school. And you would have a early childhood education center consisting of pre-K and kindergarten, either with a wing added off of the middle school or a wing added off of the Indian Head School. Now, my own personal pick would be the middle school, because there'd be less intervention into an old school, which would require more rehabs to the Indian Head, so to speak. And you also have a leaching area over at the McQuon, and a septic system that can handle the extra 300 students at the middle school rather than the Indian Head. But I'm not an educator, nor am I a superintendent of schools, and I'm not on the school committee. So they have to make the best decision that they feel is both fiscally responsible and educationally sound for the students. So I would say it's a no-brainer that they have to submit the base SOI for the McQuon School, and then they can pick the Indian Head School option that I mentioned, or the middle school option at their discretion. I would prefer the middle school option because it's more cost-effective. But is it the most educationally effective? I don't know, because you'd be taking those kids out of one area over there, all in one place, and moving them over to the middle school. So I'm not really sure. I don't know how everyone else stands on it.
No, I think,
But that's just my observations.
in all honesty, I tried to look at the school up on East Washington Street, and that's just not possible. It's too badly in ruin, I think, for it to be of any value, even if we could have done anything with it for maybe $5 million.
Would you were looking for that
The
as the
pros
early
and the cons.
education center?
Yeah, for an early education center.
Yeah.
I agree with the grade moves, if they've done the analysis to it. So basically with the grade moves, we're talking, at Indian Head would be grades 1, 2, 3, and 4. At the middle school, it would be 5, 6, 7, and 8, and obviously we have to figure out a solution for our pre-K and kindergartners. The septic looks like it definitely would be more accommodating in the middle school than it would be probably for Indian Head. Plus, you're also talking additional items that might be trigger code things at the Indian Head versus the middle school. I didn't like the idea of having another building to look at and maintain, obviously, if we went that route, because I even thought maybe the old police station, that's a stretch, I know, but that might have been an option to look at. I hear that the septic there is not viable. I think that's probably the best option, Bruce. I would probably agree with you on that. And what obviously I think needs to take place is I would like to see if they could do a cost analysis for either solution at Indian Head or or at the Hanson Middle School, and find out which one would be best. But I think over the long term, if which we are, we're borrowing money for this, then the least amount of impact to our citizens, as well as the best option to our students, would probably be the Hanson Middle School.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. This is just my own personal opinion. What's the capacity at the middle school?
700, they wrote it down in the first one.
They would put an addition on the middle school.
I think it was almost 800, and there's a 400
plus,
current
yeah.
It was
population.
700 plus.
700, and
plus.
how many are in the school now?
Hanson Middle School currently has a full, the enrollment is, I think, right now,
414.
414, grade
I'm
6.
sorry, what'd you say?
414,
414,
grades
They-
6, 7, and 8.
right, that's what they have right now.
414, and the capacity is 700?
Approximately, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the only reason I brought it up is because, you know, if it was near existing capacity now, then the state would look at everything from the gymnasium to the kitchen
To the
to
caf.
all of that stuff, all those other areas, which is very expensive,
Oh, yeah.
you know, to upgrade and so forth. So if it's a 400 now and a 700,
Yeah, it's nowhere near,
Full.
you're putting
there's
160
still room,
kids
so
over
you
there.
can add classrooms onto that.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is the capacity at the Indian Head School?
Right now,
Indian Head is, the current enrollment is 370.
And what's the capacity of that school?
They didn't give me a capacity here. I wish they had.
they didn't give us
I
capacity
think
on
it
this.
was one grade level.
Actually, I think they
They
were
said,
said,
I thought they said two.
two grades,
Two
1 and
grade
2.
levels up to
But
it.
now,
Right, that's right, then we went up to the middle
Yeah,
school.
1 and 2.
And then they moved grade 5 out. So all I can tell you is what grade 5 has now, which is 137, Rich. So if we're moving grades 1 and 2,
1 and 2 is 109 and
it's
104.
109 and 104, right?
It's 100,
Yeah,
213.
the only thing is that the SBA, when they look at these projects now,
Mhm.
and they project out the student population for 20, 25 years is what they do, and when they approve this project, whatever it is, it's a 50-year project. So you gotta be careful on what you're going to look at and what the options are, because you don't wanna get stuck in a situation where you don't have enough room for growth. And they're gonna require that an analysis be done of the student population now and how the grade levels are structured and projecting the birth
yeah.
rates and so forth and so on.
Ruth did say that, but they have a guide on the MSBA site that, and they actually did it for the last one too,
Yeah.
and they actually said it was gonna go down at that time.
No, I know, we've
But I
read
don't
those
know
stories
what the-
before.
Yeah, I know.
Things change.
I would
you know.
assume that she wouldn't have given us this and these recommendations if they hadn't looked back and saw what those capacities were.
Just
And
giving you
and knew
my
that
2
this would,
cents, that's
this would
all.
fit into the guidelines and the surveys that they did under that $500,000
Yep.
feasibility study, so.
Okay. So the East Washington building might be still for sale at that time, and if we have to, we just.
Jim, that might be worse than the hospital.
Yeah.
It's just about
$5
there.
million, if I took $5 to $10 million and redid it over. By the way, it has a slate roof.
We auctioned that building off back in the 1980s, and it went for $40,000. So,
I think the last bid on it was like 300,000 and it was rejected to purchase it, so.
would you, can I have a motion on this? Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to go with option number 6, which is the renovation addition to the Hanson Middle School and add an early childhood PK to K as the SOI option number 2, as the core SOI option number 1 is from McQuon.
I'll second that motion.
Yes.
Was there any questions about putting on, when they were putting on the addition, if they were going to put the addition on to the middle school, that it be for a larger portion? And that way they could have the kindergarten and first grade and second and third grade maybe at Indian Head, and then put fourth and fifth in the addition at the middle school?
There were
Instead of
10,
moving
there were
the
10
little-
different options. There was an option to construct a PK through 2 school to replace the McQuon. There was an option to construct a PK through 5 school and house to house McQuon and Indian Head students.
700, that's just
Move
the
grade
age of
5
field.
to Hanson Middle School, construct PK
Should fit it.
through 4 school, renovation addition to Indian Head School and create a pre-K through
That should
5,
fit without any
5
renovations.
schools. Renovation addition to Indian Head School and create a pre-K through 4 school.
Okay, all right.
Renovation to the to the Hanson Middle School, adding an early childhood pre-K to K. Renovation to the Hanson Middle School to add grades 4 and 5, and a renovation to the middle school and add grades 3, 4, and 5. Renovation to the Indian Head pre-K to K, and add portable classrooms to the Indian Head for pre-K to K that would last 5 to 10 years. Those were the 10.
Nobody wanted to do the portable
I don't think
classrooms.
you should do that for 5 to 10 years. I
Oh,
think you
no.
do something that
No,
you're
that
gonna
would be
do
just,
on the permanent factor,
Yeah.
because you're just gonna be spending money and money and money.
okay.
I hope that, if I'd do the analysis for either option, I think that would be the way to go, Emery, and then obviously figure out, things like septic, how much room it could take, and hopefully, I know that they're gonna do the estimated growth for student population, and I think they said it was projected to go down at the time. All those things have to be taken into consideration,
Okay. They've done a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion on it? Okay, like I said, the final solution to the SOI and how that's going to be prepared and for what is up to the schools, and this is just our initial recommendation. And then after that, it will be submitted to the MSBA by the April deadline. And last year, I think MSBA, it took them till December to make a call on which school districts
Yep.
had the greatest need and would receive the support and be invited into the program. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Rich, can we make sure that they know early tomorrow morning, it's quick?
You want to?
Bob Hayes and Ruth,
Sure,
because they're gonna vote on this tomorrow night, right?
okay.
Right.
They asked me to mention it, so.
You got that down.
Yeah, I'll just send them, option 6.
Okay.
Okay, committee reports. Concert Pond Committee.
They didn't meet last week. They'll probably meet next month.
Okay. Indian Head and McQuon Priority Repair Committee. We didn't meet last week. Do you remember when our next meeting is, Mike? No. Highway Building Committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we met on last Monday night. We had a quite productive meeting with the architectural engineers. They're moving forward on estimated costs as to the project with a number of concerns that were relayed to them by the committee and the highway department. It's moving. We're going to post another meeting for next Monday night, and anyone is welcome if they're to be at the highway department meeting room. And we're going to see what they report to us and hopefully come up with some projected figures to move forward. That's about all I have.
Okay. Final Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee.
And what I said earlier, there's gonna be a meeting tomorrow night at 4 o'clock at the police station. And everybody and anybody's welcome.
You want to report on the Saturday walk?
Well, the four of the selectmen here, we went on a walk on a lot of us hadn't been together, and we went for a nice walk.
The most interesting posted meeting I've ever.
We toured all the property the town of Hanson owns. We went in by the water tank and walked down the road to the fence, which the Riddle land, who owns it now?
Hasiotis, the
Hasiotis.
cattle feeders.
Cattle field, yeah, there's a fence that runs all the way from behind the water tank, all the way down towards the town hall on Wampatuck Pond for a good, I'd say, half a mile, maybe more.
Yeah.
And I took my little electric saw and I cut off some of the trees that had blocked our path so we could walk down very easily. And then we discovered all the big field down there, a beautiful piece of property which can only be used for, I think it's recreation or you can't build on it down there. It'd be an excellent walking area. And then we walk back, and instead of going up by the tank again, we cut through the woods over to the old disgusted Plymouth County Hospital. And I think everybody was sick looking at it. What to do with it, we don't know, but it's gonna be up to the taxpayers one way or another. Whether we can find somebody to come in to demolish the building and then use the land to build something else in that facility, or if the taxpayer wants to take down the hospital so that we can figure out what we want to use the land for. We already own the land anyway. But it's been since 1999 that it's been sitting there, and every project that's been started has fallen through. So this is going to be the final episode of the project. So like I say, there's be a meeting at the police station in that hearing room tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and there's going to be somebody there also. I understand Mary Ann said that they had somebody coming in that wants to look at the building and maybe take it down or something, or depending on the land and what they propose to maybe do there. So we'll find out tomorrow night.
That's interesting, okay.
There's a trailer left up there, Rich.
Yeah,
The
that-
empty abandoned trailer.
A
It's
trailer,
not part of the actual building itself. I mean, shouldn't,
where is
we-
it?
It's
across
in the
from-
woods, buried, falling apart. It's another thing that's,
I didn't go that far in.
no, you didn't.
It was,
old
it was
trailer.
part of activities they did for 4-H a real long time ago.
Okay, that wasn't
Yeah.
something that Barron had done at all.
Oh, no, that was there
That goes
back
way
in my
back.
time.
I was looking to see if maybe we could get that person accountable to get it out of there.
The
but I guess
trailer?
not.
Yeah, it's gone.
Because it's not part of the
Gone so
building.
far
No.
now.
I think if he was alive today, he'd be 120 years old.
Yeah, I'm sure. I still think, we should have held the county responsible to take care of much of that. And we should, anyways, it's before my time.
Well, wasn't the town purchased all of that, and it kind of relinquished the county from doing anything with those buildings?
The funny history of that is that when the TB epidemic was going all over
Tight.
the country,
Yeah.
the state allocated funds to build a county hospital. There's one in Norfolk, there was one in Norfolk County, one in Plymouth County. And the state built the county hospitals and turned them over to the care and custody of the county to be maintained in good repair in perpetuity, which means forever. But when the county pulled out of that place, back in the 1990s, I think it was, the place was really never secured. Within the first year, the heating system blew up because it had never been winterized. You know, that huge old boiler system down in the cellar that probably would have lasted another 100 years. That exploded, and the place wasn't really secured well, so within a matter of time, animals got in there, it was open to the weather, and the interior got basically destroyed over the years. So it's a sad story, but that's a summarized version of it. Yes, Anne Marie?
Can I just bring up something, just to change the subject just for a minute, under old business?
Yes.
Thank you. Bruce, I did send you an email in regards to what you read about the Recreation Commission. Do you remember receiving that email that I sent to you? I just didn't get a response, and I was just wondering,
I don't remember, when did you send it?
last Wednesday?
Okay, I don't remember receiving it.
Just in regards to what you read last week about how the Recreation Commission was established in 1990, and it could hire and fire its personnel, and it could sign its own contracts and whatnot. And I did some investigating with Beth and with the Town Administrator Act and everything, and according to the Town Administrator Act, the Town Administrator is the supervisor and manages and coordinates the day-to-day activities with every department. They're also the Personnel Director. I just want to square it away so that people don't think that one department can hire and fire and do whatever, and sign contracts and do what they want, and another department can't. So I just wanted to clarify that with you and have you.
Oh, well, in relation to the hiring and firing, the town under the Town Administrator Act, the town administrator can make recommendations for hiring and firing, but he has to do that to the relevant board who that person's going to work under. So
Right, but he
as
serves
far
as the Personnel Director.
As far as, yes, as far as having the ability to hire and fire, the town administrator can't really hire and fire anybody. That's the way the town administrator report reads. He has to make a recommendation to hire and fire to the relevant board, committee, or commission. That's what
I
it
would
says.
recommend maybe we should take this up next week, or you should consider it, because it's not part of the actual
Well, I understand,
agenda.
I'm just commenting on that portion of it.
Yeah, I was just,
No, I do agree
I
that he
know.
has the ability to oversee the activities of any board, committee, or commission, under the appointed by the Board of Selectmen.
mhm. And what about contracts?
Contracts themselves, I'd have to get a legal opinion on that one. I'm not sure about the contracts. I mean, obviously, I'm not sure whether maybe Rich can answer this one, whether the town administrator actually looks at every single rental agreement and approves it?
Well, it wasn't the Town Administrator Act that requires contracts to be approved. It was the approval of 30B that was approved by the town. I think it was 1990, I don't remember
Yeah.
the particular date. That 30B specifically says that all contracts must be approved by the Town Administrator through the Board of Selectmen.
Now, does that include every single rental agreement that they have on cabins and everything down there as well?
I would interpret it
Because
that
I'm not
way.
sure that has taken place.
It's not.
Yeah, because every single rental agreement that's been through there in the past, since 1990,
But the thing is, what they do is, like Rainey approved the rental agreement, and he brought it to town council, and town council approved the agreement form itself. He didn't approve every single contract, but he approved all the rental agreements would be formatted in this, using this document.
using a formatted document. So
Right.
that every rental agreement would look the same and would be
Exactly.
approved by town council. Yeah.
Right, and that was reviewed by town council.
Yeah,
So was the bartending service, so was any rental agreement, like long-term, month-to-month, day-to-day type of thing.
I don't mean to interrupt here, but I'm not very comfortable with this discussion, since it's not on the agenda. We're in open meeting violation if we discuss it further, okay? So I'd like to, I understand, but I would ask this board that we, if it's an item that should be discussed, we take it up at next time.
no, I would agree. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not on the agenda, it shouldn't be discussed.
I was just looking for an answer from an email, that's all.
I know, but I think it should be taken offline, and not, because it's not posted here.
Right,
We're in open meeting violation technically.
Right, okay. Yeah, we can take that up on, I can put that on your next agenda.
great, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Be
that.
happy to. Okay, where are we now?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Well, we should say what we're going in for.
Okay, motion is to discuss, enter executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. The administrative professionals, fire, dispatch, highway, police union, and Anderson matter. This would be to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions and contract negotiations with non-union personnel, police chief and fire chief.
Motion's been made
Motion and a second. Are you in favor?
Yes.
I'm in favor.
Yes.
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 I'm in favor.
We're now in executive session. We'll only be returning to open session for the purpose of adjourning.